Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Carol's Dungeon. If Kurt would just shut his damn mouth for a minute and quit caterwauling.
Symphony X, man.
My name is Wendy. I'm the warden of the Northeast, but I'm down here in the Southwest.
I'm Kurt, your co-host.
Hold on.
The Southwest. In the Southwest. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing okay. We've got a special guest this week. The teenager that lives in my house is riding shotgun.
She's here every week.
Yeah, well, not really. She's a captive audience this time. So anyway, can you turn that goddamn noise off for a minute?
Symphony X.
Anyway, so I'm here in Texas, and I came for the Texas Renaissance. Well, I came for a couple other things. I also came for my mother to fat shame me. But we went to the Texas Renaissance Festival.
Did you have fun?
I did.
What about you, Jill?
I had a lot of fun.
It's a good time, huh? Mm-hmm. Next time you guys got to come down for a couple of days, and I'll be better prepared camping-wise. I kind of dropped the ball on that, sorry. But
it was still nice.
You're fairly comfortable, right?
Yeah.
If you ever go camping with Jillian, though, she snores.
And she farts.
And I'm not sure, but I think she talks in her
sleep. Next to my mother, you won't be able to go to sleep.
Somebody's farting. I don't know which one it was. One of those guys.
She's a bed hog, too.
Oh, I'm the bed hog. I was on the edge of the bed. You were stealing the blankets from my feet.
Damn.
You give birth
Snoring
to a
in
bitch,
my
and this
ear.
is what you get. Anyway.
Say you didn't sleep that good, but it sounded like you did.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Anyway. So, we haven't done a podcast in a little while because we were regrouping a bit. I think we're going to get some new equipment, maybe. Kind of step up our game a little bit.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we took lots of video of the Renaissance Festival, so we will put that on the page. Okay, but we got a few things to talk about, Kurt.
What are we going to talk
since
about
our last episode. First of all, let's
We're not
see.
going to talk about the Ren Fest?
Oh, we can talk about the Ren Fest. What would you like to say?
It's your first time here, and I was just wondering if we didn't see a whole. We got here kind of late, so we only spent a couple hours in there, and I feel like you haven't seen a lot. But you got the jousting in, right?
We did do the jousting.
There's a new pirate burlesque thing that I really enjoyed. I'm not sure how much the ladies liked it, but I liked it. What do you think? What did you enjoy about it?
Well, I got a pair of really cool elf earrings, which maybe I'll model for you later. We had meatballs on a stick.
Balls on a stick.
Yeah. Some of the costumes are really good. Jillian made me a little nervous looking at the weaponry.
Look how far that guy's driving. That's not safe. Did you see that?
No.
Sorry, come on.
Are those turkeys?
Oh, what?
No, those are vultures.
Those are, damn, you got some crazy birds down here. Anyway, so yeah, some of the costumes were really cool, I thought. Got some inspiration. We might get Kurt in a kilt.
That's undecided. I'm not sure that's going to happen. It's going to take a lot more alcohol than I had this weekend, though.
We could match, Kurt. I'll wear a kilt with you.
Oh, yeah, all right. Now you're kind of speaking my language.
Yes.
Okay.
1,000 feet. Turn left on the road.
So yeah, we had fun. I had the most expensive glass of sangria I ever drank in my life.
It was good, though, right?
It was good. I don't know if it was worth $11 for a little half a plastic Dixie cup, but anyway. So yeah. So, a couple other things we need to talk about.
Okay.
So I think the last time we spoke, we were talking about Cabinet of Curiosities on Netflix. Did you finish watching that, Kurt?
I did, yeah. Guillermo del Toro.
What did you think?
I love his style. I love everything about him. A couple of the latter episodes were a little bit weak. But
The one with the Harry Potter kid, that one was weak.
yeah, that wasn't great. But overall, I thought it was a good effort.
Yeah.
I love me some Guillermo.
Yeah, I really liked the episode with the woman that got the anti-aging lotion or whatever. Remember that one?
Did like that.
I did like that one. I thought it was funny.
And they did a couple of 2 or maybe 3 H.P. Lovecraft stories, which was very interesting. God, I can't remember. When I think of it, I'll get back to you guys. But there was one with what was his
Ben
name?
Barnes,
I can't
the
remember.
one where he's the artist.
Yes, and the guy who was in The River's Edge.
Yeah,
What was his name?
Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover, that's him. I love that guy.
Yeah, I like him too. He's great.
And that was a good episode. But yeah, overall, it was a very cool series. I enjoyed it. Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Okay.
It came out right around Halloween, so it felt perfect, you know.
Yeah. It was good.
Did you see it, Jill?
No.
Get your daughter watching this stuff, Wendy.
All right, she watches some stuff. Another thing, The Periphery. You haven't started watching that yet. Okay, so we'll maybe save that for another time.
Okay.
So, another thing I wanted to mention. Coming up, I'm not sure when. I think maybe in December or maybe next year, early next year. Kindred is going to be a TV show. Kindred is a great book written by Octavia Butler, who is one of the great black sci-fi authors. You're unfamiliar with this story?
I am.
Oh, okay. Well, Kindred is about this woman, a black woman, who one day, just completely randomly, gets transformed back in time to, I think it takes place in the early 70s maybe, or sometime in the 70s, but she gets transformed back in time to
Don't tell me
slave times, yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes, and she meets some of her ancestors, and
Did she get whipped?
a lot of bad things happen. It's kind of unflinching as far as that goes, but it's a really great book, and the TV show looks kind of promising. But
What's it coming on? Is it streaming somewhere?
It's streaming. I believe it's on Amazon, but I can't really remember at the moment. I will look it up and I will let you know.
Okay.
But as black geeks, it is our duty to watch this. And you should read the book too. Have you ever read any of her stuff?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Parable of the Sower is also very good.
I'll get right on that.
Okay. So, what I really wanted to talk about today, the Cosmere. So, we did an episode on the Cosmere recently. We talked about maybe doing a read-along.
There have been some developments.
There have been some developments. Okay. Well, so I think I told you before. I'm doing a reread. I read it first, not knowing, or I started reading some of the books, not knowing what the Cosmere was, and there was a whole backstory. Now that I'm going through it again, it's very eye-opening. There's a lot of stuff where I'm saying, oh, I so did not catch that the first time. So, to recap, the Cosmere is, it's a series of books. Well, it's a universe, and within the universe are several books written by Brandon Sanderson
That Wendy's been telling us to read.
that I've been telling you to read for quite a long time now.
Next left onto Hagar Road.
Sammy Hagar Road.
Not that Hagar Road, Kurt.
Oh.
Actually, it's Hagar Road. Yes, thank you, Jillian.
55.
So anyway, to give you a better explanation of what the Cosmere is, I watched a couple more videos, and I'll tell you the story of how he came up
Continue
with the
on Hagar
Cosmere.
Road for 5 miles.
See, she said Hagar. Sorry. Continue. My bad.
So, Brandon Sanderson, when he was an undiscovered author, wanted to do a whole series of books. But they told him, you're unpublished, you're undiscovered, you're a loser, nobody knows who you are. You can't start off with a series. You'll never get published that way. So he said, okay. And just wrote a couple of standalone books. But in the background, he started dropping all of these clues about the shared universe, which is the Cosmere.
Smart guy.
Yes. And so now that he is one of the top sci-fi fantasy authors in recent memory.
He's telling the publishers, I'm doing what I want.
Well, he's been doing it behind the scenes, but now he's kind of bringing it to the forefront a little bit more. You know, as all of his books go forward, there are more and more clues. You see characters hopping around, from book to book. Well, so one of the series that he wrote was Mistborn. Mistborn. So there's Mistborn Era 1, which is 3 books. And then there was Mistborn Era 2, which was 3 books. And there's going to be a Mistborn Era 3 and 4, I think. But he just released the Mistborn Era 2, book 4, called Lost Metal. He just released it. Metal. The Lost Metal.
Because like Sabbath metal? No, I'm sorry. I forget I said that.
Because in Mistborn, the magic system is based on metal called allomancy. So if you consume metals, they give you different powers. So this is the Lost Metal. But anyway,
Slayer.
He said at his convention, because there is a Cosmere convention.
Oh shit!
It's like in November.
Yeah, you've been telling me about that. Where is that anyway?
It's in Salt Lake City because he's like from Utah.
He's a Mormon?
He's a Mormon.
Oh shit!
But he's, I was going to say something derogatory about Mormons, and I will just take that back. His stuff is a little PG-13, but not in like a stupid way. Let me just say that.
Okay.
But anyway, so he announced that the actual convention was the Lost Metal release party.
Slayer.
He announced that the Cosmere is no longer in the background. He's bringing that shit to the forefront.
Okay.
So, I haven't read the book yet. I have downloaded it. But supposedly there's like a lot of stuff going on. A lot of Cosmere stuff, a lot of cross characters. And it's not like hiding in the background anymore. It's like all out in front. So what this means, it used to be that you could read any of his books, any of his standalone books, or any of his series, and not really have to know about the Cosmere. Mm-hmm. And I think you can still do that, but the Cosmere is not in the background anymore. So it's probably going to be more fun for everyone if you read it with the whole Cosmere universe in mind. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, and I mentioned before, that if we're going to do a read along, or if any of you are thinking about reading, you should probably start off with the Stormlight Archive, because that is by far the best series. But if you want to pick up on all the clues, and if you want to be like, all about the Cosmere, that might not be the place to start.
Okay. Are you writing this down, Jillian? Sure she is.
So I'm thinking, there are 2 ways you could go about it.
Okay.
You could start with the Stormlight Archive. If you do that, you're going to have to go back and read through everything later, I think,
okay,
to really get the full appreciation. My concern is that if you start with another book or another series, it's not as good as Stormlight Archive, although all of his stuff is really good.
Okay.
You could technically start with Warbreaker and then read the Stormlight Archive, because Warbreaker is a little bit of a prequel to that, a little bit. Warbreaker.
Okay.
Excellent book. I think the conventional wisdom, though, is to start off with Mistborn.
All right. Well, again, I'm going to get to this stuff eventually.
Oh, Kurt,
Yes.
you think that we should do a Carol's Dungeon read-along? And if so, what are your thoughts about where to start?
Well, are you thinking about this Cosmere or Brandon Sanderson?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to defer to your judgment on that because you're the expert, and I will start wherever you say we should start. But yeah, I'm cool with a read-along. But you know what? I caught something on YouTube where this guy was breaking down some really like must science fiction reads, and I haven't a lot of them I haven't heard of.
Such as?
So I ordered one called Solaris from, I think it's a Polish author. I'm not sure.
Oh, was that the movie?
It's something different. And it sounded really interesting, and I might have to get back to you guys on that one. But
In
I have
a quarter mile, turn left onto the ramp to US 290 East.
In a quarter mile, I have to turn left onto the ramp to US 90 East. But but I might have to get back to you on that one. So, God, I'm not sure where I'm going to go with the when I'm going to start Brandon Sanderson. But if we're going to do a read along, maybe I should start sometime soon, huh?
Yeah. Well, my thoughts are to maybe start with Mistborn.
Okay.
I like Mistborn. It's a little bit YA, but it's good.
YA.
Turn left onto
Young
the ramp
adult.
to US 290 East,
okay.
then merge onto US 290 East.
So it's either that or I'm going to say start with Warbreaker.
Okay.
I don't know.
And when we say read along, we're encouraging our 11 listeners to read along with us and maybe we talk about it.
Well, yeah, I'd say we give assignments like, okay, read chapter 1, 2, and 3, and then that's what we're going to talk about in the next.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
And I could be your
US 290 East for 12 miles.
your Cosmere guide, kind of help you pick up on stuff, and
right.
you know.
We're gonna need a guide for this.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Mistborn. It's either going to be Mistborn or we're just going to like dive headfirst into Stormlight Archive, I think.
Okay, cool.
So, if any of you 11 listeners or people out there on the Facebook page have read Brandon Sanderson, have an opinion about him,
Holler.
yeah, holler. Maybe I'll put a poll up.
Let's hear what you think. Who recommended this to you again? You remember?
Sarah.
Sarah, okay.
My friend Sarah.
Okay.
And from now on, I always do what Sarah says because she turned me on to this series, and it's amazing.
She's that cool?
She's very cool.
Sarah's really cool.
Sarah's really cool.
The teenager says she's cool. She's cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
Because you know how teenagers are.
Yes. Yeah. I got you.
But anyway, so yeah, I will repeat. If you start with Mistborn, I'm just going to ask you to definitely stick with it. It is a really great book, a really great series, but to me, Stormlight Archive is much better. All of his books are really good. Stormlight Archive is just perfection. So yeah, you just keep that in mind that you're not starting off with the best book.
Alright.
If you start off with Stormlight Archive, just keep in mind it's a great series, but there's a lot going on that you're not going to pick up on without reading some of the previous books first. So.
Got that, Jill?
Okay. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Oh, cool. I should say that now that Wendy and Jillian are here in Texas, my girl Chloe and Josh and Shar, we want to give a little special shout out to you because I know you guys wanted to meet them and hang out a little bit, but their flight got in late and we had some weather and we were undecided about things we wanted to do, and we're sorry that we couldn't catch up with you guys, but we're going to make a special effort to do that next time, right?
Yes. And I did bring mushroom vodka.
Yes, I have it stored away for you. I don't know if I'll give it to you. I might wait till they come back down next time so Wendy can bartend. Those margaritas she made, those Bloody Marys she made at Renfest were really, really good. I'm sold.
I told y'all.
Yeah, they were good. So maybe I'll wait to share that with you when she comes back down again, but I don't know. No promises.
I do not fuck around with Bloody Marys. Okay.
And Jillian didn't have any.
No. We didn't let the teenager have any Bloody
And
Marys.
she didn't see Naked Jenga either. So
And she did not see Naked
Get
Jenga.
that out of your heads.
Neither did I.
It was particularly raunchy
I was in
last night.
bed.
Anyway, so where are we going from here, Kurt? What do you think we're going to be doing next year?
Well, God, we just still have like, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but man, Game of Thrones, the House of the Dragon was everything I expected it to be, and it took off, and everybody loved it, and there's just going to be more to talk about with it. I don't know when. I think the next series is coming out next year. I don't know. That's just quality television, man. And I'm not as excited about anything as I am about that coming out.
I would agree.
That's just good stuff.
And we are not going to talk about the Game of Thrones convention that's coming up next week because we're not going.
That
And
we
I'm very
can't go
depressed
to.
about that.
Yeah.
And I just found out that Patty Considine is going to be there.
He's going to get an Emmy for that, I'm telling you.
And we could be there shaking his hand, taking a picture with him, but no.
So, yeah, odds are, let's take a poll. Do you think Patty Considine's going to win an Emmy for his portrayal of King Viserys? What do you think, Wendy?
I think that he'll get nominated.
I think he's going to win an Emmy for it.
We'll see.
Let's take
He
a poll.
deserves it.
Tell me what you think, people.
But you know what? He's going to be up against Better Call Saul. So that's going to be tough.
All right. We'll see.
Yeah. But
Specifically, who are you talking? What actor are you talking about?
we'll see. Saul.
Yeah, who is he? Bob somebody?
Bob Odenkirk, yes.
Odenkirk, okay. All right.
I think he's definitely going to win.
All right.
Just because you know how it is. It was a really popular show. It was the last season.
Well,
You know.
He was
Game
good.
of Thrones is popular too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
Okay.
To be continued.
So, yeah. So, we're going to talk about, well, I don't think the next season is going to be up for another 2 years, actually.
Yeah, we'll find something else to talk about.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully I can get the website kind of tweaked.
Yeah, we're going to make some adjustments and hopefully make it a better experience. So
yes.
Hope
Yes.
you will all join us for that.
What you guys can do if you want to help us out, you can tell your friends. You tell your friends about our podcast.
They told two friends.
Yeah, and also what you can really do, what would really help us out a lot, is if you could rate us on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
I don't think we want to go there.
Why not?
Ratings?
We're asking our friends to rate us.
They're going to be like, I like Wendy, but that Kurt motherfucker. He's got to go. Wendy needs her own show.
Maybe I do.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
Anyway, that would help us out a lot. That would get the word out. I might put this on YouTube because I hear that you get a lot more play if you're on YouTube. So, I don't know. We'll see.
I'll have to do my hair. God.
So anyway, I guess that's all. Teenager that lives in my house, you got anything to add?
Not really.
How did you like House of the Dragon?
It was really good. I'm excited to see the next season. I don't like that one. What's her name? The used to be best friend of
Allison?
Allison?
I hate Allison
Nobody
so
likes
much.
Allison. I kind of sympathize with Allison. The feet?
That was so
The foot of the
nasty. Dude.
Oh, you know what? I thought soon, but I'm betting at the next Renfest, or any convention in general, we're going to see a lot more Valerian garb.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
Want to bet? That's
Yeah.
another thing to look out for.
I bet $5.
Okay, $5. $5?
Yeah.
You want me to make you an armor, Kurt?
Yeah.
Alright, it's going to be with craft foam. I'm not going to do it with leather
Well,
first.
they look good though, man. Yeah, so please. Yeah,
All right.
Help a brother out.
Reminds me, I got to get your measurements when we get back. Okay. Anyway. Until next time. Balar Dohyrus.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.